So our notion of social finance are 0% interest loans to help someone who is financially excluded or in poverty or both get access for the first time so that they can start or grow a small business. And how do you do it? You go online, go to our website, you maybe pick a woman in Uganda who wants to buy a cow for $500. You can lend $25 towards the purchase of her cow. What's cool is once she actually starts earning money through that dairy business, for example, she can then pay back that loan, and we send that money back to you via PayPal, and you and the, say, 25 other people who funded her and participate in her story, not because you feel sorry for her, but because you believe in her potential as someone who can really take control of her financial life, and you just want to back her dream. And then once she's successful, she pays you back, and you can turn around and reinvest that money in someone else whose story you believe. Does that make sense? And so the voice of of both sides, those with resources who want to give it effectively and create sustainable change, as well as those who need, who have a passion, who have the plan, they just need a little bit of capital and resources to really have this thing take off. Our website just matches these two groups, and their voices is really what kind of attracts them to each other. When you're at a certain level of the Maslowian hierarchy and you can kind of meet your basic needs, and that's what social finance oftentimes, we're not saying go, starve yourself to death so that you can help others. It's about giving back from a place of feeling full. And I find that once people have some kind of sense of enough, and they're not in that comparison loop all the time, needing more and more and more as a way of driving fulfillment, the creativity and the way in which they're willing to maybe let go of a fear-based position and shift, frankly, to a love-based position. And it's hard. It'd be great if you want to, get a 10% IRR or rate of return, and lift this ultra-poor rural community out of poverty. But we're not going to see that in this intervention. You're going to have to accept, at best, a negative 30% rate of return. So instead of thinking of it as an underperforming investment, think of it as an overperforming donation, because you get 70 cents on your dollar back. I also think I can redefine what enough really means for me, and then my meaning and significance comes through a contribution. Does that make sense? And I really think a lot of people, frankly, I think the world is shifting from wanting to own and earn to wanting to feel and belong. The only things you control in your life that matter are what you say and what you do. If you are in a place of privilege, and you can define what that means, but if you feel like you can set the bar where you feel like you have enough, then really consider doing something with more moral imagination, because a life of achievement is not nearly as meaningful as a life of fulfillment. And I think you just need to ask yourself, what are you going to value more, your resume virtues or your eulogy virtues? And if you can find a profession that makes you a better human being, that adds more humanity to the planet, certainly to business, it's a pretty amazing profession. I think it's a richer path, even if you might perceive it to be less lucrative. I find that this work and the privilege of actually just being on this journey is that I'm around people and around concepts and around ideas that make me more morally imaginative and keep my moral compass attuned.